Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Always turn the car around.
Yeah, okay. It took me a minute, but I got there.
It's got to be a little angsty.
How many times can I break till I shatter?
Yeah.
Oh, heck yeah. I think I had that on one of my iPods.
Oh, yeah. That's yeah.
Just like looking out the bus window as a fourth grader being like, my life is so hard.
It's like a beautiful day. You don't even have homework.
me on my way to Liberty Elementary being like, fuck, my life is so hard. Turn the car around.
Yeah.
Like, he's singing my song.
Yeah.
What were you going to say about the podcast last week? You said something goofy. And
the end of it just made me chuckle.
What,
how you left it rolling after it.
Yeah.
First of all,
oh yeah, because I said you were like a 2-year-old. Because you're like, look at that waveform, it's so big.
Yeah, well, because I ate the microphone. Have you seen that reel with they go up to a drunk guy?
Yeah, so you.
Come on, England! And he eats the microphone.
You talked about this so many times, but it's always funny.
It's like my favorite thing I've ever seen on the internet.
Not the bird video I showed you on Twitter when we were in grad school.
That's top 10 for sure.
I do think about that Vine or that video all the time where the bird hits the window and he goes
pretty hard.
Yeah, and then he like pokes the bird and the bird flutters and he goes, ah! And then the bird like immediately slams into a window and the guy goes, oh, you idiot.
That is very Eli
I think about
coded,
that video.
I think.
Yes. I think about that video all the time.
Oh, you idiot. No, but so first of all, it was just really chaotic because like saying goodnight Alyssa at the end was very funny and we didn't time that out well at all.
Yeah, true.
And then you just like kept it rolling afterwards and just like my dumbass just kind of kept talking. I don't remember what we were talking about. It's just very funny to me.
The ends of the episodes are unintentionally sometimes the funniest parts.
Yeah.
Because it's just like dicking around.
Yeah. And
with my
scene.
boy. Yeah. Right. And being stupid. Like the one that you got up and started shaking your butt. Like they're always, the end is just always very funny.
I don't remember that happening
at all. It was like 2 weeks ago.
No, I think you're making that up.
Okay. If I had more time on my hands, I would insert footage of you shaking said butt right here.
Right here. This is where I'd put that footage if I had it.
Yeah. If I had one. Okay. Do you have anything else like pre-episode?
There is never anything pressing with me. I think you know that.
I don't know if that's necessarily true.
There's not.
I think there's a field of stupidity that's eminently pressing. What'd you say?
Oh, that's true. Addison just texted me that she loves me, so that's cool.
Slay.
That's like my favorite.
You know who texted me today and told me that they love me? My mom.
Oh, she texted me the same thing.
And then if she had your number, she unironically would. My mom loves...
Hey, Eli, I love you and I'm proud of you.
Have you met my mom? Yeah, you've met my mom. Yeah.
Several times.
Yeah.
So have several of my coworkers.
Yeah, true. My mom really be out there.
She'd
just
be out
like
there.
In the nonprofit scene. She'd be knowing people.
Oh, no, the time that you were having a housewarming party and I accidentally sent them the wrong address.
That was a year ago almost.
Yeah.
My housewarming was at the beginning of November and it's September 22nd.
That is...
It was so fucking funny.
Yeah, they were unhappy.
Yeah, as they should have been.
And then
if I were them, I would be so mad at you.
I went out to the...
Because how are they going to a housewarming party for your neighbor
who
lives in
the wrong
Brentwood?
Address. Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
No. They should have figured that one out, honestly.
So
that
funny.
one's on them. All their fault.
My sweet parents were just like, I think they were just lost. Like, yeah, probably.
They were lost, yeah. I hope they never listen to this.
I had an awful dream last night, and I texted my mom. I dreamed that my mom and I were, like, really fighting. Like, for real. And I haven't, like, gotten into an argument, like, an actual, like, fight with my parents probably since I was a teenager. Now it's just, like... Any disagreement is civil.
Yeah.
But I, in my dream, was like yelling at my mother like I did in high school.
Damn.
And it was very weird. And I woke up and told her that. And she was like, I'm so glad we're not in that phase anymore. You know, like, I love you, whatever. And she was like, I hope that, you know, you can remember that that's just a dream because that can really throw off like a whole day.
Yes.
And I was like, yeah, I can. And then at like 3:00, she texted me and she was like, just reminding you that I love you.
Oh,
thanks,
hell yeah.
Mom. Like crying a little bit. I went to Aldi today and on the way back home, I thought about how much I love my parents and I started crying. I'm also on my period, which may be related.
What makes you think that?
The slightest, like, yesterday I was working an event. For my job, I work in events, and one of the events that we were producing was a nonprofit event.
Okay.
And it was a walk, and they had like a cause, and there were thousands of people there.
Okay.
And they were like, let's walk for research. And they went, burp, and they blew the air horn, and people started walking. And they started playing Break My Soul by Beyonce. And I teared up a little bit. There were thousands of people there, like, donating money for a good cause to fund research about your, like, heart health. And it was like, I was just like, wow, humans are capable of anything. And I teared up a little bit.
Every once in a while, I don't run volunteer shifts every single day that I'm at work anymore because I run the department.
Period.
Hair flip.
Too busy being a girl boss.
But I still do sometimes.
Right.
And one of those times, I actually was Friday and Saturday this week. I have to work a 6-day week. Fuck that.
Yeah, same.
Any of you girlies out there that have to do that, I see you, and it's the worst.
We both feel you.
I feel like my weekend got eaten up. Anyway, so
Yeah,
I was
same.
in front of a group, and it was just like a really great shift. And so like I was just in a really positive mood. And then someone mentioned to me after the fact, they're an employee with this company, and they mentioned after the fact that they had faced food insecurity when they were a kid, and it just like really got me, man. I've had people. I've worked there for a little over 2.5 years now.
Yeah.
That's happened plenty.
Yeah.
But it was their first time there, and they were like, you know, first of all, this is such like impactful work that you're doing.
Right.
I literally benefited from this, but also like how you speak about food insecurity is really like tactful and gentle but informative and everything. And I was like, dude, I'm like overwhelmed right now because for me, but I was close. and the thing is, like, it is not lost on me that even after 2.5 years, I will say it is easy to, like, you know, it's another day at work and it's easy to like kind of get into a rhythm.
You got stuff to do, yeah.
But it is nice, especially to get back in front of volunteers and be like really reminded of like the impact that we have.
Yeah.
Hear stories like that.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
Yeah. The events that we work on that are fundraisers for good causes, like the one that we did this weekend, it's like, okay, maybe me being annoying and bullshitting in meetings and being like, I don't want to have to keep working on this project. I want to do something fun. I want to do something new. I wish they had more money. And then I get to the event and see like the actual cool stuff that they're doing.
You're like,
and like they had like a certain like the kids who were survivors of heart events were dressed. They were wearing like capes and red survivor hats.
Oh, fucking hell.
And they
dude.
like talked about how like heart disease is not just an adult issue, you know, like that kind of stuff.
Oh boy.
And I was like, okay, I'm never complaining about going to a meeting ever again. I'm never gonna be like, I don't want to work for this org anymore. I'm like, okay, never mind. If you have $4 to do your event, I literally don't care. Bring it on. Let's do everything.
It really is. It allows me to never feel tired of working.
Yeah, same.
Every day I get to wake up, and even if I'm like, okay, I am a little tired right now, I get to still go and work for an organization like Second Harvest, and it literally gets me out of bed every day.
Real.
Anyway,
do you want to get into what we're supposed to be
get
talking
into the
about?
stuff, yeah.
Okay. Welcome back to the Pyramid, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. My name is Amanda, and I'm your co-host. Ew. I'm going to take that again.
Who,
Ew,
me?
That's so embarrassing.
Who, me?
I've never done that before. That was so weird. Okay, let me try it again.
Got you all
Welcome back
flustered.
to the... I know, yeah, for real. I'm like, welcome back to the Pyramid, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. My name is Amanda, and I am your host. Don't get it twisted. Every single freaking week, except for the weeks that I'm not.
And I'm Eli, the dipshit participation trophy of co-hosts.
Thank you so much. That was so weird. I don't know. I think
So
I was
much.
thinking about what you were going to say. I don't know. That was so odd. Anyway, I'm trying to think if there was any other bullshit I wanted to talk about before we talk about the not fun stuff. I guess we have like the pyramid and we have a couple of emails. I guess those are fun.
We can do the email. Do you want to do the emails before the pyramid?
Sure.
Those are always more fun.
Let's switch it up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Let's keep the people guessing.
So true. Okay.
Who knows which wacky antics are going to abound this week?
Who's to say?
Thanks to Eli and Amanda.
But mostly Eli, if we're talking about wacky shit. Mostly Eli. Okay. This is an email from Alyssa.
Oh,
again.
yeah.
She says, "Hi, Amanda, and he who shall not be named." Smiley
What?
face.
I wish you good night, Alyssa.
Slay.
Oh.
Firstly, I want to thank you for reading my email last week. It made my day. It made me smile so much. Also, bonus points for announcing my name right. I hope I did it again correctly. That was amazing. To answer Eli's question, I go to the University of Delaware.
Cool.
And I love your dog content about Otis.
Hell yeah.
I have a golden doodle named Dexter, and I miss him when I'm at school so much.
That's such a great name.
Dexter, are you
yeah, that's a
kidding?
great dog name.
My mom, side note, volunteers with a school that's in their area, and they have an emotional support animal on staff for the children.
Amazing.
It's the Covenant School. And so they have a couple of dogs, and
yeah,
they're
no
little
shit.
baby lap dogs for the children to visit whenever they need
God.
to visit the dogs. And one of their names is Norman. And he's like a little Shih Tzu, a Maltese Lhasa Apso
Some
type.
tiny little thing.
And his name is Norman.
Norman.
I think that's like the best
Such
dog
an
name
old
ever.
guy name.
Dexter, Norman, Otis. It's great. Also, she spelled it Odis.
Yes,
so she got it
thank
right.
you.
She knew. She's
They're
like,
all-
I also have a funky, non-traditional name, and I see Otis in that place.
Yes, thank you for meeting
Odis.
him where he is. I have good friends
Odis.
that still do not spell his name correctly. He's 11.
Don't hate on that man. That man has been through so much.
He's
It's
11
Otis. Put
and
some
a half.
respect on his name. God damn it.
Yeah. The D stands for damn it.
Yeah, so true. A word that if Otis could speak English, he would never say.
No,
He would be too nervous to cuss.
he's pure of heart.
I know you're former teachers, and I'm actually studying to be an elementary school teacher.
Good for you.
Should I be scared?
Okay. You want me to take this one first?
Yes.
Okay. There should be a little bit, I won't say fear, but you should feel a little bit of anxiety with what you're doing.
Yep.
And what that means is it is an acknowledgement that you do not know everything going in, because you do not.
That part.
It also, though, means that you care.
Yes.
If you are very laissez-faire about going into this, or you're just like, dude, I got this, like, it'll be fine, you probably don't care enough about the job that you're about to have and about the children that you're about to teach.
You don't care enough to be worried. Because
Yes.
you're like, I got it.
You should be like a little bit I'm not saying you should like lose a ton of sleep over this and pull your hair out or whatever, but you should have a little bit of level that like I'm going to be the gravity of what you're about to embark on should weigh on you a little bit.
Especially as an elementary school teacher.
Yes. And so you should feel a little bit of anxiety about this, because like what you're doing is very important, easily one of the most important jobs that like you can
Like
have.
possible, yeah.
But be ready to be adaptable. Be ready for those kids to love the shit out of you, because you're going to do a great job. But just know that like there are going to be some growing pains, especially in your first like year. And then your second year, you're going to come back and you'll be like, okay, this feels a little better. I'm less anxious. I'm less worried and everything. So just like be ready for that to happen, and then you'll be great.
Yeah,
You'll be fine. You'll learn. You'll be great.
As a first year teacher, every day your first year is your first whatever. It's your first day of school.
Yeah.
It's your second day of school. It's your
It's your
first, third day of school.
It's your first fight that you have to break
or
up.
your
It's
first like fall break, or like, if you do like a holiday party or a field day, like all of it's your first. So you shouldn't feel super confident at any point, because you haven't done any of this before.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of times there's pressure, especially for, well, I just think for all teachers. I was going to say especially for female teachers, but I think for non-female teachers, this is also the case, that like there's just this pressure to already have it together because you're the adult and you're the teacher. And don't hold on to that. Like, hold on really loosely to this idea of like, I can't wait to have it together. Hold on loosely, in the words of 38 Special.
Indeed.
It's a great
nice little song. I will say the kids, a lot of people who like go into teaching are worried that they'll be viewed as frauds, because like I know that I don't know everything, and therefore no one's going to listen to me, no one's going to believe what I say, no one's going to take me seriously.
Right.
That's not the case.
No.
Those kids are going to love you.
And they don't
they'll
know.
They'll see an adult in front of them in the room that they know is their teacher, and they're like, great, this person knows everything that's ever been known.
Yep.
And so when you mess up, it is okay to acknowledge that, because first of all, it shows the kids that it's okay to acknowledge, that you should acknowledge mistakes and learn from them. But also, like, they won't even like really recognize it.
Nope.
They'll just be like, oh, okay, we're doing this now.
Yeah, their neuroplasticity, they'll rebound from your mistakes so fast they won't even register it happened.
Yeah.
Also, don't get too caught up in how cute your classroom is. I know there's a huge emphasis on elementary school teachers
Yep.
to have these very adorable aesthetic classrooms.
And on TikTok and
it's
Instagram and all
everywhere.
that. Yeah.
Girl, don't get too caught up in that. I mean, you should enjoy the room that you spend 8 hours a day in. My classroom was also very cute and very vibey, but there is a certain point where it's like, okay, this is insane. Don't spend too much of your own money, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, spend as little as possible, frankly.
Yeah.
I think that, my room was one of the most boring rooms in the entire school, if you can imagine that.
But you also taught high school.
Yeah, but even within high school.
But
even within high school, it was like very cut and dry because like if you enjoy the decorations and everything, enjoy what you enjoy.
Yeah,
That's
do your
like
thing,
that's
whatever.
great. But the quality of learning is not made better or worse by how decorated your classroom
That
is.
part, yeah.
So there's
True.
that.
She also said, also, your podcast is not boring. To clarify, but I did die when you said goodnight, Alyssa. I fell asleep to your podcast, and that includes you, but you're not boring at all, so I'm sorry if I implied that.
No,
Here's a
you're
pyramid. Bottom of the pyramid is separation anxiety from my dog while I'm at school.
Yep.
I miss him so much. I have a pillow with his face on it from Shutterfly.
Oh my god. I have a shirt with Otis's face on it.
I want a shirt with Otis's face on it. Middle of the pyramid is homework because I feel like because I like being busy and having stuff to do, but homework can be so taxing and boring. Sometimes I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
And the top of the pyramid is hearing my email read by you guys last week. It made my week. Continue slaying all day. XOXO.
We'll do our best.
And then the other one is an email from Melissa. Okay. Yes, Melissa.
Alyssa and Melissa?
Yeah, Alyssa and Melissa. Okay. Hello, Amanda and Eliza.
Damn it.
Long-ish time listener, first-time emailer. I'm Melissa, or Mel as my friends call me, and also in the context of this podcast, it may not help to accidentally mix up me and the sneakiest mom on the show so far.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah.
I have not been here.
I don't like that she said so far just then. I caught that.
I know, so far.
I'm worried. I'm legitimately so worried now.
I'm frightened. I have not been here pre-break, but I have gone back and listened to all the episodes in like a week or so. So I hope that's okay. I'm an international listener coming to you from Brazil. So if you have a little map that you like to cross off where people you listen to are from, there you go.
That's a great idea,
That
actually.
is a great idea.
If you are from not the United States, actually, if you are from the United States, tell us which state you're from.
Yeah.
And if you're from abroad, tell us which country you're from.
Yeah,
that is
for
actually
real.
super dope.
I want to know this.
Yeah.
I also thought it was just a fun detail to add so you know how far that you've reached. I won't use this information for anything else going forward. Yellow thumbs up emoji. My favorite thing about you guys putting up the podcast on YouTube is that you don't use Dance Monkey as the intro anymore. No hate, but I do hate that song. I don't even watch it on YouTube because I like to listen to podcasts while I'm at the gym like a freak. But I thank Amanda every time I listen to the new intro for the idea of going to YouTube. Thank you, Amanda. We all say in unison. Listen, I really, unironically, when we first started doing this podcast, loved that song. And I know that's a character flaw in me, but I just thought that the beginning would, like, make sense. And then when we put it up on YouTube, I was like, that's going to get copyright stricken. Immediately. The JoJo Siwa reaction video I posted, it literally, like, the upload bar hit 100% and then it got taken down. It's like... It's immediate. UMG is not fucking around. It's crazy.
That is such a bummer because I genuinely think that's one of the funniest things.
It's up on Spotify.
Yeah.
It's the audio is up and the video is up on Spotify, but I don't think the footage is up on YouTube.
Yeah, y'all.
Which sucks. It got blocked.
If you haven't seen the reaction video,
get you a free Spotify trial.
Me the first time I watched
Go watch
the JoJo
the video.
Siwa Karma music video.
Karma?
You owe it to yourself.
Karma's a bitch. I should have known better. Period.
Oh my god, what a miserable piece of art.
If you could call it art.
Anyway, yeah, go watch that. It is a hoot and a half.
Yeah.
Shout out to Addison.
For right now, I don't have much to say about the show, but I wanted to write and share my gratitude for my weekly laughs. Feels like I'm hanging out with my friends. I love that compliment. And I believe one of the times I laughed the most was probably in my life was when one of your guests was complaining about people not knowing how to use what she says the following lane, and she says I think I'm using the left lane. Yeah, she says I'm playing international card once more. I know who she's talking about, and it's the passing lane that's available in New England that we don't have here. Like in the South, you use all lanes.
Well, you're supposed to use the far left just for passing.
Yeah, but
it's
in
like
New
actually
England, it's a little
thing.
bit more, strict. And then he said it's like everyone decided that a public fountain was a bidet. And I was so caught off guard that I cried in laughter. I don't remember the guest name, but I'll always remember that moment, LOL. That's all basically a glorified thank you note since I can't leave a review on Apple Podcasts because I'm a Spotify girly. Wish you the best. Bye. You know what's really unfortunate? Do you know who made that joke?
Oh.
Yeah.
I think I know.
Tragic.
Truly.
Fuck that guy, dude.
Hey,
I can't.
Blind squirrel and an acorn.
Ooh, I can't even get into all of that, but like, ooh, what's crazy is I'm not gonna get into all this, but the last time I ever spoke to that man, and I will die before I speak to him ever again, was almost a year ago. So
Congrats.
she's like got to that point. I don't say this about a lot of men, but I mean it about him, and I mean it about one other guy I've ever met in my life. Live forever or die tomorrow. I don't care either way. You, like, for a real toxic ass man, live forever, die tomorrow. I don't care. Ooh. Anyway, thank you for your email, Melissa. Yes. Love that made you laugh, even though that guy objectively sucks butts. I love that email made you giggle. That's very sweet. The power of laughter. Listen, what were you going to say about sucking butts?
Nothing.
Say it.
No.
Say it.
Some people are into that. I don't know. Don't kink shame on this podcast.
I'm not kink shaming. I'm saying he sucks.
Sounds like you're kink shaming.
Well, I'm not. Okay. Right. Oh, Bestie Cecilia just texted me. She got perfect on connections today. That's fine.
Speaking of connections and Wordle, like the New York Times games.
Love the NYT mini.
Yeah, I am.
Catch me in the work bathroom at between 2:30 and 3 every day, running down the Winnie.
Yeah, absolutely.
Love.
But I'm in a group text with Addison and her niece, who is 15.
Love.
And so, like, one of the ways that we like bond is through the New York Times games, and her niece gets so mad at connections.
Oh, yeah.
Because she has a 15-year-old
She has a right
brain.
to be. I get mad at connections.
That's
Shit,
fair.
and I'm 28.
But also, she just doesn't have, like, the world experience that, like, knowing some of those things. Like,
sure. How all those words are connected, yeah.
There was one time where it was, like, brand logos that had a horse in them.
I remember that week, yeah.
And I was trying to walk her through this and, like, kind of string her along.
Step her through the process.
Dude, it was a whole thing.
She's like, fuck this.
She was so mad. She was, like, mad for, like, 20 straight minutes.
I feel her in that place. That's very real. Do you want to talk about your pyramid of life?
Absolutely. Bottom of my pyramid is having chapped lips. We're about to get into that season.
Yes.
I've had chapped lips a couple of times through the summer. What is that?
Sun.
I'm not even being out in the sun.
You drink water all the time?
I drink so much water.
I don't know, girl. I drink a lot of water too, and I have skin problems, as we know. The feeling of chapped skin is so infuriating.
Yeah, I hate it.
Especially when it's on your mouth. I hate that.
That's it.
The bottom of my pyramid is different people or let me back up.
It's different people, end of sentence.
Period. No. When there is conflict that is born out of people's different communication styles. I felt this a couple times recently in my work life and in my personal life of like, stop. You and I are saying the same thing. Mm-hmm. We're just or you and this other person are saying the same thing. You're just communicating it differently.
Yeah.
Or like being in a meeting with someone who's leading the meeting who is not a good communicator but is leading a meeting.
The hell is that?
It's the weather alert for my Alexa. Just like that frustration of, and I know you feel this as a former teacher too. If I was like giving this presentation and leading this meeting, I would have structured it so much differently.
Yeah.
Like I would have gotten it together. I would have had slides. Like I would have done all these other things. And you're making people mad because you're a bad communicator. Or y'all are arguing because you don't understand that you're talking about the same thing with each other.
Sure, yeah.
And it's like, stop it. Stop being mad. You're literally saying the same thing. Like, shut up, maybe. You're not talking about different things. You're saying the same thing.
Yeah, I actually caused a little bit of annoyance, maybe frustration with Addison today.
I believe that.
And so, because we're going to another location at another date. We're traveling together in the future. Not to docs or
sure,
whatever.
Sure.
You're going on
a trip.
We're going on a trip later.
Obviously not right now.
But I was going, but Sam, so we're going to the same place twice.
Okay.
On like about a month apart.
Okay.
The first time, she and I are going just the two of us.
Okay.
The next time, we're going with Sam and Jacob and their women.
Okay.
Also.
Their women, yikes.
And so.
They're what?
They're partners.
Okay, yeah. Their women was crazy.
That's not crazy.
Yeah, it is. Because you phrased it, speaking of communication, phrasing it like you would say like, I don't know, like their suitcases or their cars.
That is not correct.
It's like, ooh.
Saying their wives would be the exact same.
It wouldn't be the exact same thing. I would interpret it differently. Anyway,
hey,
continue.
at least I didn't say females.
That's true. Yeah, points to you for not doing the absolute bare minimum.
The absolute worst.
True.
But with their partners.
Slay.
What the hell was I talking about? See, this is
sorry.
The first time
we're going
just the two of us.
Yes.
And I was talking to Sam, and he was like, "Hey, when's your flight coming back?" And on the first one, we have on the Southwest app our flight there and back booked. On the next one, we had just booked the flight there, I think, and we're waiting to come back. And Sam was asking me, and I got the weekends mixed up, so I'm having a conversation with him, but also I just like texted Addison kind of like, we're watching football, I'm talking to Sam on weekends, and I just like half sent a text message without any sort of context as though she's there in the room. And she was just like, Eli, what is this? What is this? And I was just like, yeah, because the thing. And then again, did not give full.
She's like, my previous question still stands.
I didn't like.
What is this?
Yeah, she answered, but was talking about the wrong weekend. She was like, you already have this. And I was like, no, it's the other thing. And it was just this whole kerfuffle because I did not fully think through like, oh, this is what she actually like needs to hear to be caught up with what the fuck I'm talking about. So.
Right.
Yeah.
What's the middle of your pyramid?
The middle of my pyramid, I forgot already, is cooking.
Why is it the middle?
Because I love having like just a nice like home cooked meal.
But you hate cooking.
It's all like nice and fresh. I hate the process of cooking.
I have known this about you.
Yeah, because I am a person who loves when things are efficient.
Yes.
And cooking is a very inefficient process. Why would I not just want to have something that is ready and prepared for me? I can just start eating it, and that's that. I don't want to have to preheat the oven. I don't want to have to season food. I don't want to have to chop things up. I don't want to have to wait for it to cook. I don't want to have to eat the food, which will only take me about 5 minutes at most. Right. And then I have to do dishes at the end of it. Are you kidding me?
I love that kind of
stuff.
There
are just so many other ways that I would rather spend my time than standing in a kitchen.
Yeah.
Trying to like it's like stressful too. If you're making more than two things, there's a lot to like keep track of. I don't want to have to fucking think. I've been at work all day.
Fair.
I don't want to do that at all. I'd much rather be reading a book, going to the gym, playing video games, hanging out with people I love.
Sure.
Standing in a kitchen, cooking, fuck that.
I love cooking.
But the food that comes from it when I do eat it is like it's good. So
yeah, it's like
not
the product of a process that you don't want to do.
I hate
the product
is
good, but the process is ass for you.
It sucks.
Okay.
I gotta check and see how Bijan Robinson is doing.
Okay, while you're doing that, I'm going to talk about my middle of the pyramid.
Please do.
My middle of the pyramid is sitting down and getting my budget together and trying to like think about money. Because I have a new roommate moving in. I'm very excited. Bestie of the pod, Rachel, is moving in with her dog, Iggy the piggy. They're moving in this coming weekend. So the next episode we record might have a live studio audience upstairs listening through the walls because Rachel, there's no bigger fan of the podcast than Rachel.
That's true.
Loves this shit.
You think she'll be upstairs? No. She's going to be sitting on the bottom of the stairs. She'll pull a chair over right
Rachel's
there.
too loud. I won't let that happen. She will be, her laugh is so loud. And I love that about her.
How loud?
It's disarming when you hear it the first time. You're like, oh, just kidding. Anyway.
Hang on.
No, yeah, go for it. Disarming. That's nice.
This is what happens when Rachel laughs. I hope I can get out of this shirt. Oh, I'm sorry. Am I boring you?
Mm-hmm. A little bit. I'm also a little eepy. I had a long weekend.
I'm just going to do the rest of the pod like this.
Oh, getting my budget together. That's what was a struggle. Because she's going to be moving in and paying rent. And I just had to kind of reevaluate every like envelope that all my money is going in, you know what I mean? And like how much fun money do I have? How much more towards like home projects do I have? You know, just like all the different things. And it was a good move. Like, I'm glad I did it because it's important to get your money up. But at the same time, I hate talking about money. I have such bad... Oh, wait, did you clap?
No.
Oh, it doesn't matter. We started pretty immediately. I'm going to hate that I said that in like 48 hours when I have to edit this. But
should I clap now? Can you like do it backwards?
It's not super helpful, but sure. But I am glad I did it, but it just sucks because I hate talking about money. It gives me anxiety. But I'm glad I did it.
Yeah, that's fair. You know? Having a renter, though, is definitely nice. Just having, like, a little bit of, like,
and having, like,
support.
Another person.
Yeah, there's
as
that,
much
too.
as I am so... probably for the first... Please don't break that table. I'll literally kill you. Stop it. I'll literally kill you. As much as I am in this era of my life, probably for the first time ever, like, openly happy that I'm single. Like, for real, I'm glad that, in the words of Drew Off Wallow, I'm not lonely. I'm being left alone.
Hell yeah.
I really appreciate that. But also, I do miss the roommate vibe of coming home and having a person in the house.
Sure.
So anyway, I'm really excited for her to move in, but looking at the budget was like, okay, everything's fine. I just hate talking about money. It stresses me out.
Fair.
Even when I'm getting more of it, it still stresses me out.
I was going to say.
It's just stressful. It's just the idea of money is like, I hate it. What's the top of your pyramid?
The top of my pyramid
I have to make a cup of coffee or something. Damn.
Like snacks, dude. Just the art of snacking is top of the pyramid. I was eating a Pop-Tart as I walked in the door.
You have a little piece.
I let you have a little piece.
Because it was wild berry and it was so tasty.
Yeah, one of the best flavors of Pop-Tart. If not the best. What the fuck is happening?
Second only to brown sugar cinnamon.
See, I used to be a brown sugar cinnamon girly.
And you're not anymore?
No, I still like it a lot. It's still one of the best.
Sure.
But I think wild berry has moved over it.
Yeah.
It used to be like the only flavor
Depends
I
on
ate.
the vibe, man. But brown sugar cinnamon just hits
It
different,
does hit.
dude.
It do be hitting. Anyway, I love, like, I don't snack as an adult very much, so I often refer to these things as like childhood snacks. But I also like Pop-Tarts. I don't totally count that, but I will refer.
What do you count Pop-Tarts as? A meal?
No.
But
I mean, like, no. I mean, like, it's not a childhood snack. It's just a snack. I'm talking like Gushers. Or like bubble tape. You remember the bubble tape?
Hell yeah,
Fruit by the foot and all that? Yeah. Those are more Big League Chew. I used to eat that at baseball games, which like is insane that they model chewing gum after tobacco.
Pack a lip of bubble gum.
That's
before your
so wild.
JV baseball league.
Ring pops, blow pops, things like that.
Yeah.
I miss those.
Yeah.
And it's not just candy, but like I miss just like snacking all the time.
Yeah.
I think I might pick it up as a habit again.
Two things I can't believe. First of all, I can't believe that you're an adult who doesn't snack.
I snack.
That's crazy.
I'm just really intentional about what I eat, though.
Yeah, whatever. My little snacky things are what gets me through the day sometimes. Secondarily, I can't believe you made it through the whole segment without referring to you or someone you know as a snack. That's what I thought you were gonna. You were gonna like the swerve of like, and I'm not talking about myself. And then you didn't do that ever.
I would never do that.
Okay, sure. You'd be like, I'm not a snack. I'm the whole damn meal. That would be you.
I do like dessert a lot, though.
Yeah, with cake.
Yeah.
I feel like I have to give you a high five now. I'm not going to. I just feel like I have to. Put your hand down. I'm not giving you a high five. Great.
High five. For our audio listeners, that was actually Amanda that did that.
No, it actually wasn't. For our audio listeners, Eli's a fucking liar. Don't go look at the video footage.
Guess we'll never know unless everyone goes to Spotify or YouTube and watches.
I guess. The top of my pyramid is I have been getting up and going climbing in the mornings before work, and it is changing my outlook on life, if I'm going to be so honest.
Was this the top of your pyramid like a couple weeks ago?
No, I just like to talk about it a lot. But it's now officially occupying this spot.
Okay.
I get my goofy little ass up at 5:30, 5:45.
No.
And I've already packed a bag the night before. And I have my big old goofy soundproof or noise canceling headphones. I get up super early and I stay super long because if I leave my house at 6, I'm going to hit school traffic. So it's either
6?
Yes. It's like work school traffic. It's either get up and leave the house super early. Or no, wait, sorry. I get up at 5:30 in order to leave my house at 6. If I wait any longer than 6, like 6:30 or 7,
I see.
it's going to take me an hour to get 20 minutes down the road. But if I leave as early as I do, usually it takes me about 30 because I just get the very beginning of work traffic. So then it's either get to the gym for like 20 minutes.
Ew, no.
Or get there for like an hour and a half. And I would rather get there for an hour and a half and stretch and like
Take your time.
Take my time. Yeah. I got there really early one day and I like sat and read a chapter of my book. Like, you know, they have a coffee shop in there, so I can hang out there for a second and then like get my thing on. But I have to take all my work, you know, I take all my work clothes with me and I take my makeup with me and I get ready in the bathroom. But like for me personally, doing something before work to remind myself that I am a person and I am not a cog in the corporate machine of America is nice. And I know I don't have the gumption to go after work because I don't want to do that. I want to go home after work.
Sure.
So, like, I get to be a human being before I perform capitalism and then go home and do laying down time. I just love it. I get a little energy drink. I get my protein waffles. And then I get to work and I make a cup of coffee because my caffeine for my energy drink is worn off. It's like a whole vibe. And I love it. I really didn't know how long I was going to stick with it. I've been doing that for like a month. And it's really nice. I go 3 times a week now. And I used to go like once a week if I was feeling silly, goofy. I would go twice. My ass is in there 3 times a week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Proud of you, dude.
Thank you. And I feel really strong. P.S. I wasn't really getting into climbing before work because I wanted to lose weight. That wasn't the driving factor. But I am a lot stronger than I was a month ago because I'm going to climb all the time.
Hell yeah, dude.
And it's just a nice feeling to be like, oh, this is like a conscious decision I make that does have to do with my body. And that's fine.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I think it's what you said about like it's a chance to like do something for yourself.
Yeah.
There is something to starting your day with that rather than waking up, going to work, and then like exercising is secondary.
No.
I understand that mindset. That's not how I do it.
Yeah.
I like doing it afterwards because it gives me something to look forward to.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So.
And
I'm too tired in the mornings. Fuck that.
With climbing, like you almost have to wait in line. And when there's too many people, I could be there for an hour and get up on the wall like 3 times. But in the mornings, the gym that I go to is from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. is members only. So it's usually like me and like 4 other dudes. And we're all in our different spaces and it's not a big deal. But if I go after work, it is a hipster's dream up in that piece. And it's not for me. It's not my truth and not my journey. I love going in the mornings. It gives you something to look forward to when I go to sleep. I like it a lot. Okay. Do you have a top of the pyramid? Oh, snacking. That's right.
Snacking, bro.
This week we're talking about season 4 episode. Oh, I forgot to say the thing. I'm so off my game today. I don't know what the hell is going on. I've been hanging around you too much. I do want to say before we jump into it, our episode of Sounds Like a Cult came out last week.
Oh, I need to listen to that.
It's very good. We sound very smart, very educated. A note from my sister.
And I'm also there.
A note from my sister. She says, I listened to the episode and y'all did so good. My one complaint is that no one beat up on Eli nearly enough. Which is true. We let him get away with a lot. And by get away with a lot, I mean he got to talk uninterrupted. Which he doesn't get to do here, not in my house.
That's too
But
funny.
it was really good. The very beginning, after she gets through the pre-show ad rolls, the very beginning of the content is me talking about Abby moving the goalpost all the time. And I was like, oh my God, I am, first of all, so smart. And then Eli is also there. And I listened to it for just a second right after work on Friday before I had to go to an after work meeting. I was so mad. It was after 5. I went to a meeting.
Wild.
And
just say no.
Well, I couldn't. I had to go. But anyway, I was listening to just a little bit of it in between work and my meeting. And you and I were talking, and that's when I texted you, and I was like, I'm a little overwhelmed by, what are you doing on your phone?
I'm downloading the episode.
Okay.
So
I'm a little overwhelmed by my appreciation and gratitude for you. That it was as a result of listening to that when I texted you on Friday. And you were
that's
like,
right.
I'm going to
You
cry
did
in the
text me that.
club. Yeah. Because I was like, me and this bitch have been holding it down since 2018. That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
I told that to my parents, and my mom was like, wait, when did you meet him? And I was like, we were in grad school, Mom. And she couldn't believe that. And I was like, I can't believe that either at times. That's crazy. So anyway, go listen to it. It's very funny. They made a reel about us of our Skype call where I'm talking about JoJo Siwa. It's very funny. Go consume that content because it's awesome. And they do really good, like, actual journalistic work, which we're not doing.
No.
This is a reaction podcast. We're not the Times. This isn't Serial with Sarah Koenig. This is The Pyramid, where we dick around and talk about Dance Moms sometimes. So if you're here because of that, welcome. This is not the same vibe as what they're doing. But okay, are you ready to get into the content of this week's episode?
You bet your bottom dollar I am.
Slay. Okay, this week
ready.
So true. If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready.
That's right.
This week's episode, we're talking about season 4, episode 3. It's called Abby Strikes Back.
Jesus.
Okay, great.
It's like, what? I expected there to be more like Star Wars. I don't know. I didn't.
You expected there to be more Star Wars?
I hoped that she would dress up like Darth Vader. I'm not gonna lie to you.
No, it's just Darth Vader and vibes. Or maybe somebody else. I've never seen Star Wars, but I don't. Whoever the most villainous villain is, that's Abby Lee Miller.
Yeah, that's fair.
Last week we had this like back and forth about Kendall and Chloe competing for who the number 2 girly is going to be.
Yeah.
Back and forth, back and forth,
Fighting
back
for
and forth.
scraps.
Yeah. And then we're going to be looking for new talent. Duh.
Yeah.
That's on the previously on. It's nothing.
We've talked about that. Yeah,
We've talked about it at length.
Like 2 or 3 episodes in a row now. And then now it's finally, we think it's going to happen.
I hope so.
We'll see.
Because I'm tired of talking about it if we're not going to do it. In Pittsburgh this week, we start out in the lobby. In all caps, woof. The lobby looks so fugly. It's that gross fuchsia neon pinky color on the wall and what looks like faux graffiti of their logo. It looks so 2014 and it's so ugly. But that doesn't matter. Peyton is back. She's in the lobby with Leslie, and Leslie tells her that she's here even though Leslie elected to walk out last week. She's like, "Don't worry. I know I left last week, but we're here this week." And Abby's like trying to engage in what seems like almost a realistic, normal conversation where she's like, it's just like you take things really personally and you overreact in the moment, and it's kind of annoying. And as they're having this back and forth,
fucking Jill, dude,
comes around the desk where Abby is seated and just drops off this little like cinch pouch and walks away. And Leslie goes, "Oh, is that another gift?" And Jill's like, "Yep." And Abby like opens it up, and it's the most ugly pair of earrings ever. And Abby's like freaking out about it. But Jill giving her a gift in the middle of this conversation really just like sent me. I cannot believe she did that.
I can. What do you mean you can't believe
just,
it?
Like, in the middle of a conversation, and she didn't even say anything. She just was like, "Bink, another gift." It just seems so, I don't know. Normally with Jill, she'll say like, "I just saw this and thought of you," or like, "I know you're thinking about who to replace, so I got you this." Like, she'll say something. The casual drop-off, almost as if it's, like, understood, like, you and I know that this is transactional, here's your gift, was just very disarming to me. And then, don't put your arms back in your shirt. And then, I think it's Abby says, "I guess you realize that 5th place has just landed your kid's butt in the hot seat."
Correct.
Great.
I think that's absolutely correct. Jill has gone from, my little Kendall deserves absolutely everything, to now, oh shit, I need to really step up my buying Abby's affection game or else we're out of here.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like complicated things about Jill because sometimes she's just like silly and goofy and like dumb and like relatively harmless, but sometimes she's not, and she's really vicious, and sometimes she's very aloof and is not with what's going on. Yeah. Like, I just never have a firm opinion about Jill. Like, Leslie, I don't ever like her. Christy, I love her. Melissa, I don't like her. Like, but with Jill, it always fluctuates. Like, I just never have, like, a firm stance on my feelings about Jill.
I just almost never like her.
Do you like any of the moms that aren't Holly?
I like Christy well enough. I'm okay with Kelly. Melissa, I absolutely cannot stand. Jill, I
Sure.
really cannot stand.
That's fair. Well, and Jill and Melissa are besties, too, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm readjusting because the couch is, like, eating me alive. These couches are crazy.
They do be eaten.
These couches are... It's like... Did you ever read the book Miss Piccolo's Easy Chair? Maybe I should just move away from the microphone while I have more things to say. Maybe that would be something that the viewers would enjoy. There's a book that I read a lot...
What? Say the title again?
Miss Piccolo's Easy Chair.
No.
So there's... My sister is freaking out right now listening to this. There's a book that's like a picture book.
Okay.
And it's about this woman whose name is Miss Piccolo. And she has an easy chair. And the easy chair develops like a taste for cheese curdles. Like a cheesy snack. And it's like Miss Piccolo like won't give the... Or no. They run out of them at the house. So the chair... I promise this is a real story. Like the chair leaves the house and toddles down the street. And anytime someone sees the chair and tries to sit down, if they don't have the cheese snack, the chair eats them.
What?
And like by the end, it gets to the grocery store and tries to buy the cheese curdles. And it's eaten like 4 people. And the person at the counter like won't sell. He's like, we don't sell to chairs.
What?
And so the chair is so sad.
That guy's my
and
favorite.
The chair goes home and Miss Piccolo comes home and she's like, why are you so sad, girl? And then someone's like, where? The police officer probably shows up and is like, where are all the citizens? And she's like, oh. And she like gives like, I got some cheese curls for you, and gives them to shows the chair that she has them, and the chair throws up all the people.
That is
And then she gives the
insane.
chair cheese puffs, and then she bakes everybody cookies. And they all live happily ever after.
I want to just like
Miss
sit
Piccolo's
down.
easy chair. That's what these couches feel like. I feel like I'm about to be swallowed up by these couches.
I need to know. Well, do you have cheese curdles? Maybe. If not, we're screwed, dude.
I know. Calm down, sweet prince. Okay.
That is an insane children's book.
It's so cute.
That's
I loved it.
not cute. There's murder.
No. She vomits them back up in the end. They
all
all
right.
live. They're all in one piece. Nobody dies.
Still cannibalism.
No.
I guess it's not cannibalism.
They're not chairs.
Still eating people.
Yeah. But for the sake of a snack.
No.
You and your snack era should know the desperation of not having your favorite snack in the house.
Oh my god.
We go into the mirror room with the girlies.
Wait, no, I have to say it. She's currently flying to a different city right now. You asked about my favorite snack not being in the house. She is cackling right now. I need you to know that.
She better not be. If she is, I need to have a conversation with her again. We're in the mirror room with the girlies, and we hear there's going to be an open call this week, finally, for the love of God. We're actually doing the open call for new talent in Orlando, Florida, and also we're going to Intensity Dance in Orlando this week. Jill is worried about the fate of her child. Duh, I would be too. If I were Jill and my daughter were Kendall, I would also be shook.
My little Kendall is just not a top dancer.
True. My little Kendall's not turning the party the way that the other girls are. That is true.
And then Christine, her talking head, mentions that Chloe might not be an asset to Abby like she has been in the past.
Yeah, she's a little nervy. Abby asks Maddie and Mackenzie in front of all their friends to go with her early
instead of asking
with
Melissa.
The competition. Yeah, she's like, do you guys want to do that?
Hopefully
because she knows what Melissa's going to say.
Yeah.
She wants to do the psychological warfare of the Brooks and Paiges hearing their friends turn on them. She knows Melissa's down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She just wants the other girls to suffer by hearing their friends say that they want to go early.
Yeah.
Leslie pipes up and is like, oh, that's something that Peyton would want to do too. And Jill leans forward and says, well, all of the girls, this is something that all of them could do, but Abby picked Maddie and Mackenzie. So stop. Obviously all of us could do this, but you weren't picked. And then Abby looks at Peyton and is like, see what happens when your mom is the worst? This is what I'm talking about.
Yep.
And then Leslie in her talking head says that she doesn't know why Maddie and Mackenzie get special treatment. Leslie, you're dumb.
Yeah,
dear.
yeah.
If you don't know why that's happening, open your eyes. Come on.
There's no way you're that clueless. There's no way.
You can't be. Come on. Abby says that she's specifically looking for girls who will destroy the candy apples. She's like, I don't want to go to competitions with Kathy and wonder if we're going to win or face the reality of us losing. If we're going to a competition with Kathy. We're gonna beat Kathy.
I want to bury those fools.
Like, all right.
Like, Jesus, Abby. Stop.
It's like so intense.
Well, they are going to Intensity Dance.
Do you think it's gonna be intense? Do you think it's gonna be like camping?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think maybe at least.
Great. The Pyramid of Children. The bottom is Peyton. Duh. She says that she's there not because of her dancing, but because of Leslie. And then Leslie's like, well, if it's not because of her dancing, then she shouldn't be there. Again, Leslie, is this your first week on the show? Ugh. Abby's like, you guys are a unit. So if you act a fool, then she's on the bottom. Leslie, I wrote a really bitchy thing and then I took it back because she kind of clears the air. But she says, when we act out of line, and I thought she was going to say, me and Peyton act out of line, but she doesn't, because she says the moms. She says something like, we moms get punished or whatever.
I actually was about to react to that as well. Like, I was writing my little notes. I was like, well, wait. Oh, no, we're good. Never mind.
Yeah. Then after Peyton is Kendall, which is confusing to me, because she was in the... she went up against Chloe and did pretty well.
Well, she got 5th.
Did she?
Yeah, she got 5th.
Oh, I thought she placed higher than that.
No,
okay.
she.
Okay, never mind. That
Abby says you were given an opportunity.
Yeah.
I wasn't looking for top 5. I was looking for number 1. Chloe got 2nd.
Right. I think
Kendall got 5th.
I was thinking that Kendall got 3rd, or so that she was closer to 2nd, but never mind.
She got either 4th or 5th. Mm-hmm. I think it was 5th.
I think it was too. Now that we're talking about it.
But Chloe got 2nd.
And Jill's nervous that Kendall is going to start getting, that Kendall's up on the chopping block, and Kendall starts crying. She's not going to get any
special parts.
Oof. And Kendall starts crying, and then Abby says, you have to stop with the crying. I hate that. I hate that. It's so annoying. Let the child cry. Let the child cry. I am 28 years old. I cry all the time. And there are times, I've done it on this podcast before, where I have to verbalize to myself, I'm going to cry, and that's okay. Because there were times in my childhood where I was socialized to not cry because I wanted to look tough. So, stop it. You're doing irreparable damage to a child when you tell them to not cry.
You also could stop doing the things that make them cry.
That's also true. How many times are you telling a child to not cry because of something you said?
Yeah, how many times, Abby, have you actually thought about your own behavior?
Maybe you should look inward.
I am not surrounded by many people like this, but it infuriates me when, at work or something, when someone is giving me feedback and I am not allowed to give them feedback. It's why you're telling me that I need to amend my behavior. When was the last time you thought about your own?
Yeah.
I guarantee you it's been years.
Yeah.
And that is infuriating. Whenever Abby she tells the kids to stop doing something, or tells, she told Leslie, you're overreacting. Oh, really, Abby?
You overreact all the time, dude.
She's overreacting?
All the time. It's so annoying.
Just screaming at children and
Abby's
moms
really
all the
me
time.
off.
Yeah, obnoxious.
Nia is next. She's got technical issues still. This is the same note we've been hearing for feels like years at this point. Paige, literally the exact same thing, but she wants to give applause to Kelly for not interrupting her as much anymore.
Yeah.
And Kelly's like, yay!
Yeah, a couple of the moms were playfully congratulating her. That was really funny.
The middle of the pyramid, the first one up is Mackenzie. This is the critique that Mackenzie gets, the reasoning for being in the middle of the pyramid. I almost pulled you out of the group rehearsal. You were this close to being yanked.
And she's in the middle.
And then that's it.
Above Nia and Paige.
Then why isn't she on the bottom? And also, that is not any context. You almost got pulled is why you're in the middle. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Give her a little bit more than that. I don't know. And then the next one is Brooke, and she says, why does it have to be all singing or all dancing? Why can't it be both? You need to perform, which is also stupid. And then Chloe is the second to the top because Chloe got second place, and then the top is Maddie. We're back to normal. Abby says they're talking, and she's the only one, that Maddie's the only one who's safe in the replacement process, and that she's looking for a whole team of Maddies.
Yeah, good luck with that, Abby.
Yeah, for real. You're lucky you got one.
The obsession is just so wild.
Gross to me. It's really, really gross. The group routine is called Losing You.
Because they're about to potentially lose some of their members.
Because they're gonna die? I don't know. It's nuts. The solos are as follows. Maddie gets one that's called Down My Spine. Mackenzie gets one that's called Take It to Go, which I was like, oh, that's like the Chapel Roan song. Like a knockoff Chapel Roan.
Can we talk about that song
like,
for a half second?
Hot to Go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is that song about? I've never actually listened to it before.
So it's like if you've seen like in a takeout restaurant or like a food stand that you can take food like hot to go. There's like food that's like an option. It's like Little Caesars is hot and ready, but you can go up to a food stand and get food hot to go. And so the idea is you can take me hot to go.
Yeah, being hot to go means horny, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
What did you think I didn't know that? That what like duh.
I thought it's just fun that she has
it's
this.
Both.
Well, it's interesting. Fun's not the right word because like there are like small children singing this song, but then it's like
that's a conversation about parenting. That's not Chapel Roan's fault.
Sure. No, I'm not blaming Chapel Roan for literally anything. I'm just saying like there are a lot of children singing this like really loudly and doing things with the song and about the song. And it's
that's a
that's
a comment on parenting.
Yes, you're declaring that you are sexually aroused.
Well, I mean, I feel that way even about like the moms that let their little kids listen to Taylor Swift sometimes, where it's like I don't know how healthy it is to put your fan behavior onto your child. There's a girl, I used to follow her on TikTok. I don't anymore because it got to be kind of upsetting to me, where her daughter is like a toddler and has red curly hair. And there was like a moment where there's a Chapel Roan like video or something playing on the TV, and the girl is like looking at Chapel Roan, and the mom makes this comment about like visibility in media for white women. I don't know. It's very jarring and very out of touch. And then she like makes money off of her daughter being like mini Chapel Roan. I'm like, this is icky.
You know,
me.
Yeah, that's a whole other thing. I just mean like, but I'm gonna also walk it back slightly because like it strikes me like just this individual thing as being like that's not really appropriate for kids, but like music throughout like forever has always had like elements of like sexuality to it.
For sure.
Like forever.
Forever, yeah.
And so it again, I don't have a problem. Like music is just going to kind of have that in it, and that's great. It's a thing to be like celebrated and talked about and blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. It just like, I saw this like not too long ago. There was like a classroom of like, I don't know, like fifth graders or whatever, all singing this song. Like that's not great.
I don't know
like
how that happened. I guess it happened because of TikTok and like the virality of the song, where it just kind of leaks its way into a younger demographic. But she's never claimed to be like a family-friendly artist. The refrain before the chorus, the second refrain before the chorus is, "Baby, do you like this beat? I made it so you'd sleep with me." It was I made it so you dance with me, and then the second time she says it is I made it so you'd sleep with me. Like her song Red Wine Supernova that went super viral at the beginning of this whole thing. Girls, gays, and they, sing it with me if you know it. This is before the final chorus. She says, "Well, back at my house, I've got a California king. Okay, maybe it's a twin bed and some roommates." And then the roommates go, "Don't worry, we're cool." And then she says, "I heard you like magic. I've got a wand and a rabbit. So baby, let's get freaky, get kinky. Let's make this bed get squeaky." She's not a family-friendly artist. There are just people who are bad parents who just kind of are like, let my child, not a mom, I'm not a mother, blah, blah, blah. But that's a comment on parenting, not anything else.
Yeah. I wasn't making the comment about her. I was just saying the occurrence of this is strange to me.
Speaking of over-sexualizing your children, Mackenzie's this Take It to Go dance, there are a couple moments where I'm like, that child is a child. That's crazy that's on national television, that she's dancing like that. We get a trio that's called See No Evil, Speak No Evil, Hear No Evil. It is Brooke, Chloe, and Paige, wherein Brooke is like the front like lead, and then Chloe and Paige are gonna be her backup singers, and it's like a pinup 1940s number. Abby asks the moms, "Can y'all tweet about the open call?"
This was so fucking awesome. And immediately Holly is just like, I'm sorry, you want us to tweet about our potential replacements? That is a little awkward. And Abby gets mad and says, damn it, you're the only one smart enough to figure that out. And then like rolls her eyes kind of playfully. The best part is that she goes, Melissa, you'll still tweet though, right?
Yeah. Well, Melissa says, well, it's because she's the smart one in the group. And then Abby's like, Melissa, can you tweet for me? And she's like, yes.
Yes. Anything that you need, Lord Abby. Anything at all.
Grody. The moms go upstairs. We're seeing Mackenzie running her solo. And she's doing this, like, waitress kind of 1950s, 60s sort of number. And Abby says in her talking head that she's going to start looking for an 8-year-old Maddie-like character person who can do the younger category because Mackenzie's aging out of that category. So she's like, we need an elite mini to really, and also to compete up against Mackenzie the same way that Asia did.
Yeah. She also notes that Mackenzie is going to be her little waitress all week. Do you hear her say that?
Yeah, that's going to come back.
Sure will.
I'm going to be mad about it.
Yep.
Holly upstairs makes the very astute observation, putting that doctorate to good use, where she says that Abby cares more about the open audition than the competition.
Yeah, that's pretty clear.
Yeah, Holly. But, I mean, slay. You're right, but kind of obvious.
Yes. Yeah.
And then Leslie says that by Abby taking Maddie and Mackenzie to the competition, that she's telling all the new kids, these are the girls who won't get replaced. So we're just stating facts this week.
Yeah.
We're just like
we're all just
making observations.
Right.
Yeah, duh.
Uh-huh.
Okay, great. We do see the trio rehearsal. It's this like jazz number. You know, Abby is really reaching to try to tie this into Brooke wanting to be a singer. And like reaching to be like, well, Brooke wants to be a singer. Let's see her do a dance about singing, sort of.
Yeah.
And she's going to lip sync, and that's about singing. It's very like, she's really trying hard to make it work, and it's not working.
We'll talk about this later. Kelly brings something up. I think it's a lot later, actually. Oh, God, where is it? She talks about something with Kelly later, who I'll just go ahead and bring it up now, I guess.
Okay.
But Kelly at one point says, Abby wants so badly to like take credit for Brooke's singing career. First of all, calling it a career is wild,
I
Kelly.
know, yeah.
But she's like, she wants so badly to take credit for it, so now she's going to do this so that she can say that she is like she's part of the success if she actually makes it. The other half of that though is that like I said it, I think it was last week. Brooke looked like shit on stage.
Oh my God.
She had no presence. She does not know how to perform.
She's
she doesn't know how to like
14.
15.
Is she really?
Yes. But she still, it doesn't matter. She doesn't know how to engage an audience. She has no stage presence whatsoever. She doesn't know how to emote while she's singing. And yeah, she was nervous and all that. Sorry. And so like Abby saw that and was like, oh my God, that's terrible. Yeah. That's one of my kids that's out there embarrassing herself. Yeah. So I'm going to give her practice. We're going to give her a few lessons here. She's going to figure it out so she doesn't look like shit next time she goes on stage.
Yeah.
So they're both right, I think.
Jill is upstairs. She's trying to figure. Are you good?
Yeah, probably.
That sound is crazy. She's upstairs trying to figure out this weird like who was going first thing from last week.
How are we still on this?
I don't know. It's a lot of back and forth, and Christy now mentions that she claims that Chloe asked the show manager if she could go last. This is the first time we're hearing about this. I don't know if that's true, but then Jill is like, you liar. And I don't live, laugh, love this, but Christy says, I didn't lie to you. I just chose not to tell you something. And I hated that because that's what Melissa would say.
Yes.
Melissa has said that multiple times.
Yes.
And I can't love Christy and be Melissa's number one op when Christy is saying shit like this because they sound really similar right now. And then someone is saying that they just like to follow the rules. Oh, it's Jill. Jill's like, well, I'm sorry. I just prefer to follow the rules.
No, and you don't.
Kelly says, let's get it straight. No one here follows the rules. Like, no one's doing that. And then
Holly does.
Cuts to commercial. That's true. Holly is a rule follower. When we come back, Abby's in the den and she tells all the girls that she's excited for the open call. And she says,
I'm in a great mood to potentially replace you all.
Yeah, because some of you bitches are going to get your lives ruined. And I'm so excited.
Yeah.
And she says in her talking head, everyone's replaceable except Maddie, of course.
Obviously.
Great. The group rehearsal is called, or the group rehearsal? Wait, I thought the group number was called Losing You. But she says here it's called Team Spirit.
It was called Losing You.
Oh, well, when we get to the competition and the MC announces the group, it's called something else.
Oh,
so,
great.
Great. We're working on group number, unnamed group number right now. And she said Team, T-E-A-M, Spirit, and I heard what?
Teen Spirit,
Teen
like
Spirit.
Nirvana?
Yeah, that's what I heard, was Teen Spirit. That's My Chemical Romance. Smells Like Teen Spirit is My Chemical Romance.
No, it's not. Smells Like Teen Spirit's Nirvana.
What?
You're thinking of teenagers, they scare the living shit out of me. No. It Smells Like Teen Spirit is Nirvana.
What's the My Chemical Romance song called?
I think it's called Teenagers.
Oh. Well, that's what I heard, and I heard...
Smells Like Teen Spirit is Nirvana. Yeah, it is just called
Teenagers. Yeah, I heard Team Spirit and thought Smells Like Teen Spirit, but then I heard in my head Teenagers by My Chemical Romance. It was a journey. Apparently.
Yeah, truly
Apparently
a journey.
I didn't even know I was going on, but...
Both good songs.
Yeah, true. Abby... Oh, and I have in my notes, I heard Smells Like Teen Spirit, and it tracks because Abby Lee Miller really does scare the living shit out of me, which doesn't make sense because that's not what that song is.
Two songs about teenagers, though.
So really, it's a good joke once you explain it.
Yeah, as all the best jokes are.
Yeah.
There's
Anyway.
one thing that our listeners have realized over the years is that I am living proof of that. The more that you explain a joke, the funnier it gets.
So true. If you have to explain it, that means that it had enough integrity on its own to be a good joke.
Yeah, I've also said that I really like intellectual sense of humor.
Yeah, true. I would agree as much as that would be true.
Insert colossal fart sound.
Yeah, for real. The trio comes in. They are doing this like microphone thing, and the moms, like Abby puts this like old timey microphone prop, and the moms are like, "Oh, it's so cute! It's so cute!" And Jill makes this comment about wanting to like
get on it,
and the moms are like, "Yeah, Jill, we know." And Christy's eye roll is almost audible. she opened her mouth, she's like, "Ugh," and like rolls her eyes. It's so funny. Like, Jill, this is your this is someone's daughter's dance rehearsal. Like, fucking chill out. Keep it in your pants.
Jill out.
Chill, Jill.
This is where Kelly brought up the thing about Abby wanting to take credit.
Yes.
And I was like, maybe, but also Brooke needs a shitload of help.
But I also thought it was interesting that she said, like, Abby wants to take all this credit for Brooke's singing career, but this is something that Brooke and I want to do the way that we want to.
Yeah.
But I guess to a certain extent, yeah, in any setting where a minor is in entertainment, there has to be an adult in the room. So someone has to do it. I'm glad it's Kelly more than I am that it would be Abby. But it was just funny that she's like, she wants to take credit. And that's not hers to do. That's mine to do. Because this is what me and my daughter want to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
We see Maddie rehearsing her solo. Abby tells Mackenzie to watch Maddie run her solo.
And then what happens?
And she's like, I'm going to have Mackenzie wait on me hand and foot.
Speaking of...
I can't talk about it.
Speaking of foot...
Do you want to talk about it?
I don't want to, but I feel that we must. Abby is sitting and brings her foot up with a sock on it. What the hell was that sock, by the way?
Don't know.
Okay, she brings it up and props her foot up and then makes Mackenzie come over, get on her knees, and rub her foot.
It's so...
An 8-year-old... 9 maybe.
Disgusting.
Has to rub her dance teacher's foot.
Anyone touching a foot that's not their own in a non-pedicure or like medicine setting is disgusting. I'm not touching anybody's feet.
People have their, kinks and preferences and stuff, but this also isn't that. It's fucking weird. This is a 9-year-old.
It's weird for another adult to touch another adult's feet, except in very specific settings. So it's extra weird that it's a child.
I don't think that it's really ever... there would be a chance that, like, Mackenzie, for, like, her own mom, has to, like, do something like that.
I don't know,
Has to, like, touch her mom's foot for whatever reason.
I guess.
I can see that. Not your fucking dance teacher.
No,
That's
and
insane.
not on television.
That's insane.
That's exploitative and icky.
Yes.
You
icky.
know, the industry term, icky.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so then, and Abby's like, well, it's good that she was in here doing this because she got to see Maddie rehearse. No, she fucking didn't. She was rubbing your bunions. She wasn't paying attention or learning anything. This was exploitative and stupid. The end. I hate it. It's just annoying to me. And the moms are talking about how they're worried about their daughters getting replaced. We know. We get it. And then Jill says that it was sneaky of the switching of the first and second, going for Kendall and Chloe, and then we get another commercial. So we effectively have a repeat of everything that we had before the last commercial break.
Yep.
Nothing is changing, except Mackenzie did something gross against her will.
Yep.
We come back from a commercial, and we're finally headed to Orlando. Okay, I don't know if you saw this, because I know you're historically not the most observant person when it comes to reality television. Did you notice who's in the background of most of these shots?
No.
JoJo Siwa.
Is she really?
Yes, sir. I saw the establishing. So yes, I don't know how much the camera battery died, so I don't know how much got cut off. But in the opening shot of establishing that we are at the competition or the talent search, JoJo Siwa is there, and you can see her with her fuchsia bow and her bedazzled forehead that she did a lot, and this very cute moment, and I was like, oh my god, here we are, we're finally getting JoJo Siwa, let's fucking go.
She's creeping in.
She's just appearing. I was so excited.
She's oh god, what's that horror movie? I think it's It Follows, or there's something, there's some horror movies where there's just something kind of in the background for a lot of the scenes.
It Follows is so scary.
I haven't seen it, but I think that's the one I'm thinking of, where I've seen previews.
Do you know what it's about?
Something following?
Yes, but do you know how the spirit gets transferred from person to person?
No.
Fucking.
Oh, hell yeah.
So if you have sex with the person who has the demon, then you get it.
It's like a spooky STD.
So it's made about STD and public health awareness. That's actually part of it.
What?
Which it becomes immediately more lame when you learn that that's on purpose. Because it's kind of spooky and funny. And then it's oh, well, if it was a public service announcement, that's kind of dumb. But it is that. That's the vibe. And it is so scary.
I'd like to watch. I don't tend to watch a lot of scary movies.
You're not a spooky kid?
I'm not really a spooky kid. I like really bad ones or
Sure.
really good ones. The Shining is a great horror film. It is just so suspenseful and so just creepy.
Did you see Saltburn this year? That's not a scary movie.
No.
But it is creepy.
I heard it was insane.
It's awesome. I watched it 3 times. It was really good. I love that movie. Jacob Elordi's in it, and he is very talented.
Yeah, the girl lunch at work all are just in love with him.
It's not that I don't get it. I just disagree.
He's not your type.
He's not my type. He's too waif. Anyway, we're not talking about how horny I am once again for the, 4th week in a row? Come on, I am going to go back to my roots and talk about how much I love Brittany Broski, because that's my bitch. But there's an episode of her podcast where she goes, welcome. She's like, good morning, Broski Nation. And she goes, boy, do I have news for you guys. And she leans off the mic and she goes, I found another fucking white man on the internet to thirst over. And she's like, I found another fucking white man on the internet. And I really feel seen by her and her screaming into the corner of her studio. Anyway, so yes, Abby's looking for a new dancer. Very whatever. So Abby, the girls are all on stage at this auditorium.
Yeah.
Which I have thoughts about the setting of this later. The girls are on stage, the moms are in the chairs, and Abby's kind of giving them this big long spiel about what she's looking for and blah blah blah. And she says, I'm looking for someone who can take Maddie's place when she's not dancing. Okay, great. And then we get some montage footage of Abby being okay, round number 2, round number 6. And she's like, you're out. You can go home. And then the girls are getting off the stage and going and sitting with their moms. Why they're not allowed to leave, I don't know.
Yeah,
because if you get cut from an audition, you can just go home.
I found that very strange. I also found it strange that she's trying to watch 40 or 50 kids all at once. There's no chance. Like, I understand
She
that
must have had like Gianna or somebody with her off screen.
maybe. The thing is, when you're trying to watch, it's like when, teaching marching band kids, and you're trying to like get them all to just march in step. You cannot watch the whole band at once. You can't do it.
No. But I guess if you're watching the whole group and someone catches your eye,
and they're just automatically
like,
out.
all right,
the
out.
problem is, I thought of that, and the problem with that is, like, even the absolute best kids that I've ever taught that ever marched still would mess up every once in a while.
Sure. That's
and
true.
so you might
That's
be
not fair.
if like at the first minor mistake you're just cutting somebody,
Yeah.
you might be cutting the best dancer.
Who just like bobbled a move.
And so exactly.
But for Abby, you would never do that.
Yeah,
You
Maddie would never.
Yeah, exactly.
Even though Maddie has forgotten her dance and
Yeah.
she's fallen and blah blah blah.
And she at one point was a beginner.
Exactly. Well, that is a great point too. But I just thought this whole thing, and of course there might be editing. She might have been watching him for 15 minutes before she actually cut anyone, maybe.
But we're not given that information.
Yeah, we're not at all. And yeah, the fact that they then, after being cut, have to sit in the audience and cry with their moms.
So sad. And the moms
Is
are also crying.
Insane.
I also don't like that Abby's going around like touching the kids, where she stands up and she's like, you can go, you can go. And I don't like it because they have numbers. The purpose of the number is so that you as the instructor can sit.
Yeah, 48.
As someone
Bye.
who's run auditions, the purpose of the number is so that you can sit out in the seat and see everyone all at once. If you're up on stage close enough to the kid to tap them on the shoulder to say you can go, you didn't see everybody.
Yep.
You were looking at that one kid. So, like, this is dumb. This whole, like, the numbers thing is to prevent, A, people being in weird situations and being touched by a stranger, a strange adult, and B, so that you can sit out in the back and see everyone and still facilitate the cuts.
Yeah.
So, it was just dumb to me.
Abby
I just
at
didn't
one
like it.
point.
Also, JoJo's Siwa is there, and I see her.
Abby at one
JoJo
point
Siwa.
starts. Okay. She starts getting rid of one kid, and she starts getting rid of kids, and then one girl, she walks up to her and says, "It's not your dancing, it's this," and points around her face. And she's like, "It's this, it's your face." But then she says, "You need to like emote more, you need to perform more." But starting off by saying, "It's not your dancing, it's your face." That is fucking wild.
That's devastating.
Yes.
Yeah. At one point, Abby's like, "Oh, there were so many good dancers in that round. Where did they go?" And there's a moment that Abby has with one of the girls where she's whispers to them like, "Hey, start on your left foot. You're starting on the wrong foot. Start on your left foot."
Yeah.
And so then she makes this really annoying comment, this really sarcastic comment, and then a mom in the crowd says, "Oh, they didn't all hear what you said to this one girl about starting on your left foot." And the way that, like, Abby, like, turns and looks for the person who dares to disrespect her is sinister.
It's like...
And then the mom's like, sorry, I'm sorry.
Yeah, she realizes she really messed up.
I really hate it. And Abby cuts that girl because of the mom.
Yeah, well,
And the mom is, like, begging, and she's like, no.
It's this whole... Yeah, and so... Well, first of all, Abby says, like, "Who's your daughter?" And the woman points on stage, and Abby makes that mom stand up and says, "You just embarrassed your daughter on stage," and then says, "That's your mom, get out."
Ooh.
And the mom's like, "I'm sorry, I would never do that." And Abby's like, "You just did it.
You just did.
That's the thing.
That's the
problem.
Yeah.
Because you just did it."
Yeah. Did you ever watch Succession when that was on?
Weirdly enough, my brother and I were just talking about this earlier today about like
really
what
good.
people consider to be like the greatest shows of all time, and that would be in a lot of people's like top 10.
True. It wouldn't be in my top 10, or maybe top 10 it would, but it wouldn't be in my top 5. But there's an episode towards the very, very beginning of the series where, do you know what it's about? It's based on
people succeeding one another.
Yeah, it's based on the what's the company that owns, or the family that owns Fox?
I don't know.
It's a real family, and it's an American, like, dynasty kind of, like, multimedia family, and they own...
The Murdochs or whatever?
Yes. They own Fox News. They own all that stuff.
Murdoch's
so
News.
It's based on them.
Oh.
And, like, their
Sounds
dynamic.
awful.
And in, like, the first or second episode of, like, at the very beginning, Logan Roy, who's at the head of the family, invites all these dudes that are like investors and higher ups in the company to a retreat, and they have this long dinner.
Oh yeah.
And he makes them get on the ground and oink like pigs.
Yep. I've heard of that scene.
And it's really effective because they're able to capture like the shift of like, no, he's not kidding. and like, you're gonna do this. And everyone like group deciding like, we're grown-ass men in our like Armani suits, and Logan Roy is screaming at them. And it's the first time you see that character scream, which is, and he starts the series by almost dying. So the whole premise of the show is that they never know who's going to be the next successor, because they never know when he's going to die again, because the first episode he has a heart attack and almost dies.
You said die again.
Well, so you like never know like what he's going to do,
right,
or who's going to come next, because you never know when he's going to die. So it's weird to see this like frail, kind of sickly old guy who like seems really pleasant, like snaps and starts screaming at these men, and they all do it, and they get on the ground and they start like making pig sounds and crawling around on the ground for him. And it reminded me of this moment with Abby, of the shift in the room reminded me of that scene.
Oh, sure.
Because the mom is so sad and terrified, and so like seems to be very genuinely apologetic. She's like, stand up. Which one is your daughter? Which also stupid question, because the mom is wearing the same number as her child. So she's just doing that to humiliate her.
Right.
And she's like, you're out. And the mom is so sad. She's like, I don't care. You're out. And don't tell me that you wouldn't mouth off to me in rehearsal, because you just did. Goodbye.
Yeah.
It's like really upsetting. It made my stomach turn.
The other thing that's crazy, and granted, I haven't seen the scene in succession, but someone who's like, if you're willing to get around on the floor and oink like a pig, you're not good enough to take over this company.
Yeah.
If you're willing to do something that degrading
but
and
then
awful,
also, what if you didn't do it and you disobeyed him?
Then, oh well, you don't get to be a part of the club.
That's the dynamic. The whole show is that there are people. It's really interesting. There are characters in the show who are willing to do whatever he says, and he sees that as weakness. And there are people who are willing to go against him and do what they believe is right, and he sees that as weakness. He's literally Abby Lee Miller.
It's interesting. Yeah, I was going to say,
he like is moving the goalposts.
There's
the whole
a parallel
time.
here.
You just never know what to do about Logan Roy, because he's so unpredictable.
Abby then continues on with cutting girls, and she'll give like 3 or 4 words of generic feedback for each of them. The girls are like almost all just sobbing in the audience. So sad. One mom asks for, just give her one more chance, Abby. And then Abby says, when she's on Broadway, call me, I'll get tickets. Melissa then goes over to that mother. This was the most insane thing I've seen in
maybe
a long time
ever
on this show.
in the show.
Melissa goes over and crouches down next to one of the moms who's sitting in the audience and says, like someone with the worst case of Stockholm syndrome, where she knows that Abby is like this horrible, abusive, blah blah, and this is learned behavior. She's like, you mustn't anger Miss Abby. She goes over and says, you cannot anger Miss Abby. She doesn't like it when you talk back.
She doesn't like it when you speak for your daughter.
Right.
But like,
whatever she's at.
What the hell?
It's so like Melissa is almost like pleading with her,
I know,
but also like siding with Abby. Still, it's that is
gross.
That is one of that might be the most unhinged thing I've seen on this, because Melissa means it so earnestly. She's being genuine.
She's not kidding
when she says that, and she thinks that she's like making a good point and being helpful. And otherwise, and these other moms that are like outside of this insane bubble are just like, what the fuck is happening right now?
It's really crazy.
It was so jarring to me.
Yeah. I really hated it. Abby says, like, this is, this group right here is the best group in Orlando. And JoJo Siwa isn't there. So she was present and saw her. But JoJo Siwa doesn't live to be this, like, she doesn't, like, make it to the top of the mountain with the, like, best talent. Also, we don't hear definitively, you are a new member of the ALDC from this. We just see a group that she considers to be the best of the best in Orlando, and that's it. That's all we get in terms of this
as of now.
Arc. Yeah.
I think that's funny, because she might have been like teasing the eventual supervillain. Like, we'll just put JoJo Siwa in the background, and then like, I guess we'll see her in a later episode or a later like book in the series or whatever. She's actually the big baddie.
Yeah, exactly.
One of those.
We got to a commercial, we come back, and we're at the competition.
Hooray.
We're in the green room, we're getting ready, and Jill is not there with Kendall. And we find out later it's because her other daughter, Riley, had her senior night, and they stayed home to do that, and they're just going to join up later.
That is
But you would think it was like the end of times.
Yeah.
We're
panicking.
other moms.
Where's Jill?
Yeah, the other moms are freaking out about her not being there. And Abby's like, I don't know. It sounds like it might just be time for Kendall to be replaced. I'm so sick of this shit.
Yeah.
Replace them or don't. Put up
Yeah.
or shut up. Piss or get off the pot. It's so, at this point, so like annoying. You're not striking fear in the hearts anymore. You're being annoying.
Yeah, you're overplaying your hand.
Yeah.
And so now it's just boring. It's like, okay, well, we've heard this before.
Yeah. And Holly uses this to be like, how was the audition? Right? Like, you're talking about how you want to replace people. How did it go? And Abby's like, oh, it was great. Okay, sick. And then let's see. Yeah, the moms and the daughters are like giving Jill a hard time. Jill eventually shows up, and when she walks in,
Christy's like, well, look
like,
who decided to show up.
Yeah, like whatever.
Glad you could join us.
Jill is like, I texted you guys that I was going to be late. Like, what are you talking about? But the camera is still on Jill when she says, I texted you to let you know I was going to be late. And off camera, Abby screams and she goes, well, you didn't text me. And the way it's framed up, it sounds like a bitter friend in the background who's just mad they didn't get the text. Yeah. Instead of like this, like, whiplash of Abby being like, you didn't, whatever. It's because she's off camera. It made me giggle a lot.
Abby's also not wrong about that. Like, if you're going to be late,
you should tell your teacher.
The dance teacher who's in charge of the thing.
True.
Insane.
True. Kelly's like, well, do you think that you would have been on time if Kendall had a solo? It kind of is like a rib a little bit, which like, Kelly, I thought we were just praising you in the pyramid about you not being a bitch. And here you are on your bitch shit.
I liked that line though.
But then Kendall, who's getting overwhelmed at like everyone yelling at her. Understandably, Kendall snaps at Kelly and says, well, I'm not doing a solo.
Yeah, she's like, well, it doesn't matter. I'm not doing a solo.
Yeah. And then we get another soundbite that's really making the rounds on TikTok, which you won't know anything about, but it's where Abby says, oh, that sounded really bratty.
Yeah.
And then there's like a bunch of edits of Charlie XCX because her album is called Brat.
Oh.
So that's like on the internet a lot.
Oh, is that the thing about Brat Summer or whatever?
Yes. Brat Summer is because Charlie XCX put out an album at the beginning of the summer that's called Brat.
Oh my God.
It's really good.
Okay.
I like that album. It's fun. So yeah, and that's what the cover of it is, just a neon green square that just says the word Brat. So if you saw green and people were like, Brat Summer.
I didn't see that very much. I remember Hot Girl Summer being a thing.
If you're still on Instagram, right? You get most of your content through Instagram Reels. You'll hear about Brat Summer in like 3 years probably. It'll make its way to Instagram Reels, and then you'll know what I'm talking about.
I don't know that the time delays that much, but that's very funny.
Thank you. I love it when you tell me I'm funny. It is always so... It makes me giggle because it's like, you don't think I know that? Like, why do you have to tell me that's funny? I know. That's because I said it.
Nice.
I just think it like, okay, thanks. Like, no, that was funny. Like, so are most of the things I say.
Yeah,
so
Eli, thank you for joining us.
You have the power of hearing.
Instagram over here, TikTok over there.
True.
You just gotta let me catch up.
We got this over here.
No, that's awful,
this
though.
over there.
Yeah, this is better. This is just so much better. This is a heart. That looks like a constellation.
No, it doesn't. It looks
that
like
looks like two crabs kissing.
They could never make me hate you.
It's just so not good. You know what I mean?
That's okay. I had one of my millennial coworkers at our event this week was like, how do you do that? And I was like, you go like this, you go like this. This is fun for our audio only listeners.
Yeah.
And then you go like this. And he could not get there. I was like, it's literally... And he just couldn't do it.
Peace up, A-Town. Bam, 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 bam.
Yeah, very much that. Oh, okay.
God,
so then... Oh, that sounded really bratty. Okay, great.
I was gonna say...
Brat Summer.
We are just like dishes because we are in sync.
Oh, I was going to say we're just like Justin Timberlake or JC.
Because
we're in sync. Yeah. Although Joey Fatone was also a big deal in that group. You know how you spell his last name?
Fat One.
I know I've talked about that on this podcast before. That's crazy to me.
I think it was
Joey Fat One.
Have you seen Team America World Police?
No.
It's a very dumb movie made by the creators of South Park.
Got it.
And Joey Fatone is a character in that, but they call him the Fat One. Because...
Brutal.
Fatone,
Joey Fatone was also on a bunch of episodes of That's So Raven, I think, which is how I know who he is.
That's so Joey.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, the trio gets into their group costumes, and they are so cute, so slay. Kelly in her talking head is like, these three girls are the least favorite of Abby's, and they're doing a routine together. Okay, performance time. Maddie does her solo performance. It's beautiful, like it always is. It's great.
Oh, before that, actually, when Kelly's getting the trio ready, Kelly tells Brooke, hey, if you forget the words to the song, just say watermelon a bunch of times.
Yeah, because Brooke's supposed to be lip syncing, which she only does for like 8 counts, and then she stops.
Yeah.
But they're like, yeah, if you forget the lyrics, just say watermelon, watermelon,
and you can
watermelon.
see Paige in the background way over enunciating watermelon.
Yeah.
It was very funny.
Mackenzie does her solo. It's cute. I am excited to see Mackenzie not be given cute solos and for her acting to be challenged outside of character pieces, but whatever.
Melissa mentioned about her. She's like, I want her to follow in Maddie's footsteps. Jesus Christ, Melissa.
Yeah, really upsetting.
Oh my God. It's so shitty just seeing that there's like clearly the favorite kid.
And then for what?
And then the other one.
Yeah. Oof.
It sucks.
It hurts.
It just sucks.
We get the trio performance, and Abby keeps saying that this is how Brooke is going to prove that she can be a pop star and not just a karaoke star. The thing that Brooke is doing right now in a trio dance is so different from what like the Britney Spears of the world do when they dance on stage. It's stupid. Like this is they're not comparable. You know what I mean?
I would agree. I think that just like learning how to exist on a stage and do something comfortably though is still like good.
I guess.
That's
but like the stretch that Abby's making is just getting on my nerves.
It is a bit of a stretch, yes. I do think it is technically a Venn diagram. It's not two separate circles.
Sure.
So
that's
I
fair.
will say that.
I still think the overlap is as gray as Abby thinks it is.
You know that I do not like giving Abby Lee Miller any credit whatsoever, but I think there is something to it. There is some overlap of skill.
Sure.
Whatever.
Let's see. Oh yeah, I thought it was really cute. The dance. Kelly thinks it's really cute. It's great. We get to the green room, and Abby tells Mackenzie that her dance was all right.
You played it safe, Mackenzie.
But what can you do to dance more like Maddie or more like Asia, who's not even here anymore? Oh, how can you be more like this other, like, moving target of a person who is not in this room or on this team anymore?
Yeah.
And then Gia comes in and says that Peyton has snapped her ankle.
She said she fell and has hurt her ankle.
And now we get a commercial, and then we come back pretty quickly.
Yeah.
It looks like Peyton says that she tripped over Kendall's foot. It looks like an accident.
Yeah.
There was a time that Paige did a backflip in the green room.
Ooh, yeah.
It's not that because they told her don't do that, and then she did it anyway. This, I think they were just rehearsing.
They were.
And Peyton just like tripped and like got twisted up.
Yep.
Abby comes in and asks Peyton how the pain is, and she says like from 1 to 10, and she says it's a 9.
Yeah, she says she literally heard something snap, which is real bad. And without skipping a beat, Abby says, "All right, well, we need to reblock this.
We got to
dance."
reblock the number." Yeah,
which they're about to actually perform.
I'm not mad about it because
like,
what is she going to do for Peyton
exactly
right now?
this
Peyton's,
like girls and
get your leg up. Yeah,
she doesn't want like the other dancers to like freak out and get like sucked
Mackenzie
into
starts
this.
crying. Did you see that?
Does. Yes,
it's so sweet.
Yeah, very empathetic, and she's scared because like injuries are like a new thing for her
also,
to grapple
Peyton's
with.
one of the big girls, so
She's
like if
the big
she
girl.
can get injured, that's scary.
Yeah.
You know, she's a teenager.
And so Abby is just like, y'all go reblock the dance, and Peyton's here. EMTs come in, they pick her up, they put her on a stretcher kind of thing. They put the seatbelt straps on, which I don't think she needed.
Well, she's not thrashing around. Like, get a grip. Christy really, in another attempt to just remind me that Christy is just like me for real. The paramedics come in, the EMTs come in, and one of them, I guess their faces are blurred, so we don't really see what they look like. But you can tell one of the guys is pretty yacked. And he goes in and Christy goes, "Oh my God." And then she goes, "I think my ankle's been hurting too."
Oh, I missed that.
Like,
dang it.
Picking up Peyton, who's like sobbing. Christy's like, "Oh yeah, I think I'm in pain." I'm like, "Christy, you're just like me, but shut up. Now is not the time."
She conjures up a glass of wine out of nowhere like, "Hey, so you come here often?"
God, sorry. Like, are you guys like from around here? Or no? Yeah. Okay, so Peyton gets taken away on a stretcher. You know, Leslie goes with her.
Oh, and then as the fucking hold on. Let's see.
I
Abby
was just gonna
says,
say Abby's giving them whatever the opposite of a pep talk is.
yeah, she's like, you need to be self-responsible. You never know when something like this will happen.
Yeah.
And then as they're going out to dance, one of the moms, and I forget who, yells, "All right, guys, break a leg."
Oh, probably Jill. That sounds like something that Jill would say.
Which is a little bit hilarious.
Do you know where that phrase comes from?
Too soon.
This is a fun theater fact I know.
I think someone has told me before, and I've forgotten.
Probably me. It comes from the days in American theater when vaudeville was a really big deal, and vaudeville is like variety show.
Yep.
And like that's the kind of style, and actors and performers who were in these vaudeville type shows oftentimes wouldn't know if they were going to be performing night to night, like who's going on for their act. And breaking the leg of a stage is either side of the proscenium, where it goes from the point where no one can see you behind stage and then you walk out. That's called breaking the leg.
Oh.
And vaudeville actors and performers wouldn't get paid unless they broke the leg of a stage.
That's interesting.
So people would say, like, I hope you break the leg.
It means I hope you
get paid.
Work.
Hope you get to go out. I hope you get paid. I hope you break a leg.
Okay.
Anyway, I love that fun theater fact.
That is a very much a fun
free.
theater fact, for sure.
As are most theater facts. They're all fun.
I don't know about that.
So yeah. Oh, and then Chloe's backstage with the girls, and she's like, we have to do this for us. We have to do this for Miss Abby to show her that we can do hard things. We have to do this for Peyton, who can't be here. Like, she is like pumping the girls up.
Hell yeah,
so cute.
She's a girl's girl.
She really is a girl's girl. Well, you know she is because she's a lesbian.
That's fair.
So she is a girl's girl. The group does their performance, and the announcer announces it smells like Team Spirit. So I don't know. Someone has to go with me on this. It's headed in that direction. So we've gotten 3 different names: Losing You, Team Spirit, Smells Like Team Spirit. Great. It's fine. We get to the awards. It is a small competition. First of all, there were not that many people out on stage.
Nope.
Mackenzie gets first place. A
Bang.
mega slay
Bang.
from our girl Mackenzie. Okay, it's time for Maddie to get an award. JoJo Siwa is in the crowd of girls waiting to hear their award.
Dude.
When Maddie gets announced to be first, she walks past JoJo Siwa.
That is so wild.
So then I am like, wait, what's going on? I like run it back a couple times, and the girls who are in the open call are here at this competition.
Yeah, that's probably why they're all like...
But then if you look at like the background of the moms when they were in the theater seats and the background of the moms here, it's in the same theater. The audition and this competition took place in the same location with the same group of kids. So I think what happened is that they marketed this to, unless it's all fake, which is a possibility, I think they marketed this to the people who were coming to the competition as come a day early and you can audition to be on Dance Moms.
Probably.
But it looks like it's the exact same. I'm sorry if that's wrong, but it seems like based on the pattern of the wall in the back that they're just in the same place. And it made me giggle. I just he was there. Okay, anyway, Maddie gets first place, great. The trio gets second, which is kind of annoying because I just want them to get first place so bad and shove it in Abby's stupid face. And then the group gets first. Slay.
Classic.
Okay,
Holly in her talking head says, Abby doesn't need anyone else. She's got her team right here.
Period, Holly.
Bang.
Love.
Gold medal.
We go back to the green room, and Abby tells the other girls that Maddie and Mackenzie are safe from being eliminated.
Of course.
Yeah, we know. And then we get an update from Leslie about Peyton that she's good.
Great.
No other additional information.
That probably means she's just not crying anymore, but we don't know.
She got painkillers and she's good.
Peyton killers.
Peyton killers? That was crazy. Abby pulls the trio off to the side and she's like, hey, so in case you guys didn't notice, you were the only failures here.
Yeah.
You're the only people who didn't get first place. You're the only suckers here. And then Abby tells Kendall, like, your mom has said that if you want us off the competition team to kick you off, and I'm going to think about it. And then she says, She like ends with this very weird line about like don't live a life full of regret and then leaves. It's like, it's so weird.
She's like, yeah, come to the pyramid, but we'll see what happens after that. You don't want to live a life full of regret or some shit.
And then it's like next week on Dance Moms.
I was like, what?
Very weird ending. There wasn't any like super fights. There wasn't. I thought of a joke this week that I was going to voice memo you and I forgot until this moment.
Oh.
Okay, you have to lock in, Eli.
I'm scrolling to find my song. Go ahead.
Okay. No, but you have to lock into what
I am
I'm about to
so
tell
locked
you.
in right now.
Okay, good. There's a song by Chapel Roan that's called Super Graphic Ultra Modern Girl. We have talked about it on this podcast.
Yes, I remember that name.
I was rewatching The Incredibles recently, per your recommendation.
Yeah.
And it made me think there's an overlap that exists in the like humor sphere of you gonna tell me that you're a super mega ultra lightning babe. That's all right with me. I'm good. I'm good. Frozone instead saying, you to tell me you're a super graphic ultra modern girl. That's all right by me. And then it like plays in the background. There's some sort of like overlap happening there. But when I was rewatching that and he said super mega ultra lightning babe, I was like, that's a Chapel Roan song.
That was also my nickname in college, actually.
Super mega ultra lightning babe?
Yeah.
Or Frozone?
Either way.
Because you freeze up. Do you have a song of the week this week?
Yeah.
What is it?
I do. It's Cough Syrup by Young the Giant.
Made famous by Darren Criss from Glee.
Was it?
Yes.
It wasn't made famous by Young the Giant?
He sings that song over a montage of a student trying to commit not being alive. It is very jarring. That's how I know that song.
I got to see Young the Giant at Ascend Amphitheater.
Recently?
Several years back.
Oh, was it good?
Pre-Panorama. Yeah, they were really good.
Slay.
Yeah.
Love that for them.
Would recommend.
My song this week is called Somebody, what is it called? Somebody Else. It was not Somebody Like You, that's the Adele song. Somebody Else, but the cover by Role Model, not the Maddie Healy version.
What? Oh.
By
Somebody
Role
Else.
Model.
Spotify singles?
Yes. So Role Model covers the song Somebody Else by the 1975, and he does this like country folk twang on it, and it's really lovely. And also Role Model is unfortunately devastatingly attractive.
Unfortunately?
Yeah.
Okay.
He doesn't know how to dress.
Oh.
But also, yes, he does. He's like Harry Styles, where he looks really stupid a lot of times. And then looks really hot some other times.
But he's
and
still
it's like,
Harry Styles.
Which one of you is your stylist and which one of you is your taste?
Your Harry Stylesist?
Who is your Harry stylist?
Or your bald stylist? Your clean-shaven stylist?
Oh my God.
Your Brazilian stylist, perhaps?
Oh my God. But anyway, it's really good. I also separate the art from the artist and all that stuff. But I think the version by the 1975 is fine, but I love his voice and the country stylings, and it's very lovely.
Interessante.
That's like all I've got.
That's like it, dog.
What a lackluster episode. Dang.
I don't know about lackluster.
I feel like the only luster that was brought was by us. And it's lacking.
It's lackluster.
You and us we're putting the us in lackluster.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Thank you. Thank you for telling me I'm funny. It just makes me giggle. Like, that's funny. Like, I know. Thank you.
I think it'd be so fun just to have a podcast. And this is a thought that every single straight white man in America has had before.
True.
But like us just sitting around and just chatting, just
dicking
shooting
around.
the shit.
Yeah. Yeah. That's kind of what this is. And sometimes we talk about Dance Moms.
Because you're very funny, but I'm also here. And so like...
The best quality about you is that you make me funnier. And I've always said that. And I'll say it again.
I'm the John Stockton to your Karl Malone.
I was thinking that like I'm not Andy Cohen, Conan O'Brien, and you're that other guy.
That other guy. You heard it here first, ladies
Is that
and
Andy
gentlemen.
Cohen? Yeah. He's
something.
Andy Cohen. And I'm Conan. You're Andy Cohen. I'm Conan O'Brien.
Andy makes some good jokes every once in a while. I'll take that.
I also sometimes think that we're Kronk and Yzma.
I tell people at work, like volunteers,
That we're
to
crunk
get
and easel?
get into the cooler. There's like a rope with like
Pull
a
the
thing,
lever.
yeah. And I'll say, give
lever.
that a gentle tug, and then as they do, I'll say, pull the lever, crunk.
And then do they pull the wrong lever or the right
No,
one?
someone will pull it. Inevitably, probably about 30-40% of the time, someone will say, wrong lever.
Nice. Do you know who voices Yzma?
Yes.
Eartha Kitt.
Is that her name?
That's
I know her
crazy
face.
to me. The singer. That's just crazy to me that it's her.
My friend Danny, whom I haven't spoken to in years, actually, so I guess old friend Danny, does a phenomenal impression of Yzma.
Of Yzma. I
So
love
good.
that. Someone played her as for like a character on Drag Race a couple years ago. So funny. So funny. Also, if you're watching Drag Race Global All-Stars, write in. I would love to talk to you about Alyssa Edwards being in her flop era because it's jarring and terrifying and makes me sad and nervous about being an American.
Flop era?
Flop Tina Aguilera.
What is a flop? What is that?
A flop?
When something is bad.
Yeah. She's in
So
her
she's
flop
just
era.
being bad.
Yeah. And she hasn't ever been bad. Well, that's not true. She's
Bad on the show.
Yeah, she's like kind of
I see.
iconic, Alyssa Edwards, for being like funny and gimmicky and having jokes, and like she is an interesting caricature of a person. Her drag is fine.
Okay.
But in Global All-Stars, it's time. Everyone who's on All-Stars has been on the show before and has had a career and then has come back to recompete as an objectively successful drag queen. So
Interesting.
you can't bring to Global All-Stars what you brought to season 3.
Sure.
Like 10 years ago.
You gotta upgrade that shit.
Like, come on. It's not enough to just be a meme anymore. You know, someone called her White RuPaul, which I thought was hilarious. So anyway, if you're watching Global All-Stars, please write in. We can talk about the hate crime that was Soa Demuse's lip sync wig. She looked so bad, and I deserve an apology with tears because I saw it. We can talk about how much we hate Nelania. And I understand her drag is objectively beautiful. She is an individual, as a person, gets on my nerves.
It happens.
That's it. Well, if you if you want to follow us on social media, you can. We have social media. Our Instagram
You
is...
have to don't actually tell them. You guys have to go find out.
Oh, I actually don't think I put in our end cards last week of our... Wait, yes, I did.
Yeah,
of
we
our
did.
social media handles. I think I did.
Yeah.
Anyway. You can follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is @notamandab_.
I'm at Eli Farmer. Oh, I'm sorry. That's not right. At
my
Eli
God.
_Farmer_.
We're at the Pyramid Pod collectively. Yeah, I guess that's it. I guess
that's it. Before we say goodbye, we'll say goodnight, Alyssa.
Good night, Alyssa.
Don't stroke your microphone.
This is what ASM artists do. ASM artists.
Yeah, but
That's
that
a
also, trigger warning, Amanda's tickling her microphone. If you don't
With
like
my eczema-ridden hands. I'll stop.
my God.
I have to call the doctor tomorrow for real because this is so nasty, but it's creeping into my other finger. See, so we have like leprosy finger number 1.
Sure.
And then now it's growing here, and it's growing over here now.
Every time I get poison ivy, it does that. I'll get it in one spot, and then it just hops around. I fucking hate
I've
it.
had this on my hands since June. Yeah, because it was when Jake was here, and Jake,
He
the bottom
gave it
of
to
his
you.
the bottom of his pyramid was like something really emotional, and I said the bottom of my pyramid is this dry skin on my finger that I can't get to go away, and that was in June. So
Brutal.
And it's almost the end of September, so I need to go to the doctor probably.
Do you remember?
I know, I can't believe we missed the 21st night of September. That was,
was
last
yesterday.
night. I know.
I had a good night yesterday.
Good for you.
I did nothing. I played
Yeah.
some video games.
Same.
I went to the gym, had a nice big meal. I played
Love
some
that.
video games. I
I
slept
had to be
in.
at my event at 5:30 a.m. yesterday, which is why I'm a little lacking in energy.
I worked yesterday
was
as well.
Exhausted.
Right.
It was a long day Friday setup, and then 5:30 a.m.
Fuck.
at the event on Saturday. It was
We could probably
brutal.
cut the podcast now, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much for listening. Goodbye.
Goodbye!
I can talk however long I want to, bitch.
We can keep talking. Let's
This is
just
my
cut
podcast. No, I'm gonna cut this shit off right
Let's
now.
cut the shit, and then we'll...
Bonk. Okay, stop recording. Now I'm gonna shut us up.
Bye.